Okay, everybody turning in a couple minutes early here. We're 5 minutes out, 5 minutes from going live with the first Bike Night live ever. Cycle Source Magazine coming to you with a little Thursday night relief from the COVID. Stick around, 5 minutes from going live with Bike Night. You guys are starting to pile in on social media. It looks like we might kick off Bike Night this week a little bit early, so get ready. It's going to be a great show with your host, Pat Jansen, Missy, and Heather coming in live from the Sturgis Garage, going live with Bike Night. Get ready. That's you, Pat.
Oh, it's me. We're live. I was watching the thing. I was waiting for it to end. Hey, guys, everybody, welcome. We're doing a cyber bike show. Can you believe that on a Wednesday night? Or this Thursday night. We're going to do it on Wednesday night. With coronavirus, has anybody kept up well with days?
It's hard, right?
And I can't keep up with a day.
It's Blur's Day.
Of course, I couldn't really before, but now nobody's around to help me either. I don't have anybody saying, you know, it's bath day. It's Saturday. You got to take a bath. So I think everybody on here has got their favorite beverage. Since this is the first one, I figured we'd toast first. Everybody got their beverage in hand. I didn't know there were going to be this many people. So when we toast, I was going to do a shot with each one of you. So
they all have their bottles.
I'm just going to do that. I like Jack Daniels, so that's what we're drinking here. So I got to finish this one because I got a full one I got to put on the shelf. So here's to you guys. Here's to joining us for the first Cyber Bike Night.
Cheers. Salud. Salud.
Cheers.
So Heather, why don't you tell everybody what's going on real quick while Pat downs that handle of Jack.
Oh gosh. Howdy, folks. So I don't know about y'all, but I'm sick and tired of being stuck in the house. More than fed up with not seeing my moto family. I don't get to see the cool bikes. I don't get to hang out with the cool people.
You got me?
Yeah. No, but seriously, we thought this would
that's what she said, Missy.
Shut up, Pat. Thought this would be a great way to have us all get together and share some cool motorcycle stories, some cool motorcycles, some cool people.
Hang out.
Give us a reason to drink a cold one every now and then, and just try and bring maybe a little normalcy, I guess, the new normal to our week.
Yeah, man, and I'm really hoping too that this isn't the new normal because, man, it's just this is just sad, and I know we've all got opinions, and we're doing this so we don't have to think about it. I haven't watched fucking news in 5 years, so I mean, to me, I don't keep up well anyway. So, but I do know about coronavirus, though. I know that it's going to kill every one of us, according to the.
Pat, is that backdrop of yours? Is that just a painted poster on the wall?
Yeah. This is my bar.
That's
in my
legit
basement.
His bar.
Is that bad?
Looks like a painted poster.
There's the rest of it. There's my theater down there.
Wow.
Got a theater. And
why didn't we get quarantined
there? Over there. I don't go in that. But so I'm surprised I don't have to live down here. But
Pat, do you want to adopt me?
Well, listen, Pat, why don't you take everybody through the group and announce some of our guests here tonight that are taking their Thursday night with us and spending some time.
Well, we got Ben and Amy Stucker. Wave. There you go. All right, folks. Where are you guys out of?
Indianapolis.
Oh, I saw some belly.
Indianapolis.
Indianapolis. All right. We got Rich Petoniak. Rich, tell us where you're out of.
Westfield, Massachusetts.
All right, we got George Stinsman. George, where are you from?
Long Island, New York.
You see how you had to think about
You
it?
should have just let George talk and make people guess.
George from Chaos.
That should have been one of our trivia questions,
All
right?
I'm sorry. George from Chaos Cycles is the way his agent asked me to introduce him. I'm sorry. Got Charlie Trader. I know he's out of Daytona Beach, Florida, right there, man.
Charlie,
He's got some moonshine
woo,
with him.
Charlie in the
tonight, so
house.
it's a real bike night. We got Evan Favreau. Evan, where are you from?
Wallkill, New York. You know, I've known you for like 6 years and you still pronounce my last name wrong.
I love doing it.
And you
It makes
married
your mother angry. She's watching, so I got to watch it. Evan Favaro from Wallkill. And who did I nearly forgot. We've got Jake Sherrard is with us tonight. He's going to be doing some music for us. So that's going to be awesome. Did I get everybody?
I believe so.
You
I think I did. So what we're going to do tonight, it's kind of hard. You know, with a bike rally, there's always a lot of activities and stuff going on. You can walk around, you can look at a lot of bikes at one time, and you can talk over each other and that kind of stuff. And we're going to be doing that kind of stuff here. We're just going to be kind of talking about where we are with motorcycles right now. So that's kind of where we're at. So is anybody riding right now? Is anybody able to get out and ride?
We are here in Indy.
I say I know
I
Billy and
don't
Amy are.
even ride when it's nice out. I'm like the shoemaker's kid, you know?
I know. Well, we build bikes that are impossible to ride. Ask Pink.
I put 3,000 miles on that thing.
He rode that bike. Evan built that bike, and it was out in Sturgis, man. He killed that thing out there.
I tore that thing up, yeah.
So Charlie has been tormenting
Come on with
me.
me, man.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Fucking tore it up.
So where are you guys getting to ride? What kind of rides are you taking out there in Indianapolis?
Just anywhere around town.
So you guys, it really hadn't affected your riding starting this season at all then, huh?
No, we can go anywhere we want to.
All right. So
And they're not hassling you
Iowa
at
was
all?
one. Are you guys one of the 8 states or 7 states or whatever that didn't really do anything?
No, they shut down the city, but it just affected like waitresses and all that stuff.
Yeah, they shut down restaurants, but we still have all stores open,
Wow.
retail pickup. And we're going to have a party coming up on the 23rd, May 23rd, so hopefully everything's all right.
Yeah, otherwise you guys will go to jail probably, but that's cool.
That's the plan.
Well, that'll be, hey,
We'll see what happens.
you know, surprisingly in this industry, jail never hurts your resume. Oh man, they're badasses. You know, so that's good.
So hey, my brother down in Texas there, I accidentally bumped his mute button, so I got to apologize to Jake. But Jake, you guys are getting ready to start. They're opening Texas up tomorrow, right? They're gonna start the big gate open.
Tomorrow they start up with a very small opening up. I think some of the restaurants are opening up. I think the 18th of May, I think the bands can all go back to work when they're in the bars.
Awesome.
So we've been kind of hating like for a while.
That's right.
So when are we leaving for Texas?
Yeah. When are we heading to
Governor
Texas?
Kim Reynolds just opened up. We got 99 counties here in Iowa, and she just opened up. Well, maybe we don't have 77 counties here in the state are completely open now.
Wow.
So there, I think there's just 22 really around the Des Moines area where people live. So all the cows can go. I mean, they're eating hay, and doing. Man, I don't know. I ride to ride. They said social distance, and we've been there since I think 1848 when it settled. So, but we've been doing pretty good. So, George, what's it like for you in there? You're right down in the meat of it there, huh?
It's pretty serious though, man. I hear everybody on Facebook saying it's not serious. It's pretty. I mean, I know personally 8 people have died from this already.
Wow.
And your sister works in it too, right?
Yeah, she actually just recovering from it right now. She's a nurse. Her girlfriend's a nurse. They both got it. I hope they both going through fine. I got a friend right now who's in an induced coma. It's tough, man. I mean, like I said, I keep hearing how it's fake. It ain't fake. It's really real.
No, yeah, it is, bro. Where it has taken hold, it has taken hold hard. So I know that you're right in the thick of it. Now, are you getting to ride at all? What's your bike life look like?
My bike life looks like test ride customers' bikes and I never get to ride. I actually just built myself a bike so I could actually ride this year, but normally I don't get to ride too much. And honestly, through this whole COVID thing, this whole quarantine thing, it's rained almost every fucking day except for 3 days.
Well, that's good. Well, that's good at least. I mean, at least you weren't tempted.
Yeah, good for business, man.
Yeah.
So,
Hey,
Pat.
that is. We're kind of like the cobbler's kids. That don't have shoes. I don't ride much. Charlie, have you been riding any down there?
Every day, brother. Every day.
Yeah.
Yeah, he torments us with ride videos.
Summer never
almost
ends
every
here.
day.
Almost every day. Hey, Pat. We need to check.
Summer never ends. You get to ride it. The weather's been actually perfect. 70s, low 80s during the day. It gets nice and cool at night. Great riding every day.
That's
so
awesome.
we're lucky. They're opening the beaches 100% tomorrow. The beaches have just been limited access for swimming, fishing, running, jogging, that type stuff, bicycling. But tomorrow it opens up 100%. But still a lot of bikes out on the road. You're passing a lot of bikes. Just no watering holes. That's the only downside.
Yeah.
So Pat, hey Pat, can we take a minute and check in with some folks from social media? Because
absolutely,
the stuff is flying, and we have people from all over watching. I just saw come up Brazil and Canada, and
I saw one from Sweden,
I've
Texas,
never been to any of those
Tennessee,
places.
Little Rock, Arkansas.
Little Rock, Arkansas.
I've been there.
Quite a few people from New Hampshire seem to be checking in.
Right on. That's my home, New Hampshire. I think they're all.
It's probably Heather's mom and her family. We've got
you know what?
600 people watching right now.
I think they're trying New Hampshire right now is trying to wrap their head around the fact that the Laconia Motorcycle Rally just got rescheduled for the first time from June to August. And we have a couple people asking who's going to be riding from Sturgis back to Laconia to see if people are going to be hitting the rally. We've got a hello from the Teamsters Local 282 in New York City. Right on. Thanks for joining in. Missy, who else you got over there?
I got Marge checking in, Shadow from Shadow Light Media.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, she said last week they did a 4-hour ride all around the back roads there in Northwest New Jersey.
Man, we haven't had a single day of riding weather. It's been cold, it's been rainy, it's been crappy, it's been deadline.
I'm getting mine out on Saturday. I don't care.
I threw my leg over my bike yesterday. I said, that's it, I'm going riding. So I threw my leg over one of the bikes in the shop, and the battery was dead.
Someone says Pennsylvania is shit.
It's so like that time you and I were like, hey, let's ride to Sturgis from your house. And then we couldn't get the bike started. Had to go get a battery. Couldn't get it started.
That's because you both.
You know, it's funny.
That's because you both drink too much.
The newest bike out of all of them, I couldn't get running.
Yeah, you guys are a bad combination.
Right.
And,
so we have
but then I got home, and it started right up. It apparently didn't want to go to Sturgis. I don't know why, but we had a good trip out there. Evan was as he called himself, a Sturgy Virgie.
It's a sturgeon.
That year, that was 2 years ago, wasn't it?
I think so, 2018.
Yeah, 2018. So Evan had never been to Sturgis before, so he flew into Des Moines. I picked him up. We jumped on a couple of bikes and we rode out to Sturgis, South Dakota.
Show a
didn't
hand
make
who's
it
been
all
to
the way.
Sturgis.
Your bike blew up somewhere.
I blew up in where's that pretty lake at in South Dakota? Champaign?
No.
Where the fuck? And it's the only lake in South Dakota. You're going out.
It's the big one you go across.
It's a reservoir, for Christ's sake.
It was spitting oil all over me. And so I finally was like, I have shorts on, and all the oil is between one very personal spot and another, and that spot isn't supposed to get touched.
So
I decided to call it quits.
I love seeing these bikes all around. I've rode 1,400 miles in New Hampshire roads with as many stops at Hippie Hill. Right on.
Why are you people getting all good weather?
I know. No, New Hampshire hasn't. That's just a hardcore rider.
Okay.
You have to be hardcore if you're riding in New Hampshire. But anyway, can we take a musical break? I'd love to hear Jake play a song or two.
Ready to jam.
Okay.
Jake, are you ready?
Absolutely, man.
Okay.
Wrote a song about it. You want to hit? Here it goes.
I figured I'd start off the night with a little bit of Black Crowes.
Oh, yeah.
Nice request over the last
Chamberlain. It's Lake Chamberlain.
I just got to fix Jake's camera, so bear with me.
It's Lake Chamberlain.
Lake
Pat.
Chamberlain.
Lake
Pat.
Chamberlain.
That's where that
70
bike
in
stayed the
Detroit
whole
this
Sturgis
weekend. How far is
entire-
Detroit?
Sure did.
Too far.
Oh.
Was that a victory?
There's Jake. Sorry, guys. This is the only thing I'm trying to get used to on this damn Zoom is the cameras float around, and whenever I have somebody shot set up, and then they're just gone. So
Is it like kind of playing like Duck Duck Goose or musical chairs?
yeah,
It's like musical chairs.
It's like that, but with the F word every 3 or 4 seconds.
I see him. I see him.
There we go.
There's Jake.
There's the Jake.
The Jake.
So we're gonna mute the rest of our mics and enjoy some music from our entertainer of the evening, Mr. Jake Sherrard from the Black Smoke Sinners, many other projects, Robert Wagner's Road Collective, and you can name all the rest of the bands you're in, because this is one of the most working cats I know in professional music, tearing it up out of Austin, Texas. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Mr. Jake Sherrard.
She never mentions a word in certain confidence. She's a number after the family. It's around black down. Over shakes down. She never smile when the pain comes. That's gonna make everything alright. Sexy times angels. Set down your way. Sexy times angels. Set down your way. It's like a head where's across around. Cross on the boy. Cross on the hair, not yet. She said she's hard to angel. Sexy, I'm lonely. Sexy times angel. Call her out by name. She's don't love her. None that I've ever seen. But to her, that ain't nothing. It'll be, everything. It's your eyes back down. Oh, change down the tide.
When the pain comes, pain's gonna make everything alright. Yeah, yeah. Sexy talk, angels. Champagne on rolling. Sexy talk, angels. Come around by me. Yeah, yeah, talk, angels. Champagne on rolling. Sexy talk, angels. Come around by me. Running around, yeah, you know it. Running around, don't you know that they come
Right on, man. Good job.
Very good.
Good
Awesome.
job. All right. We got Rich, what is that behind you there on that lift? What do you got back there?
To switch to original audio and that your speaker is off.
I can hear Heather talking about something.
On original audio.
That wasn't
It's
me.
the dirt shovel. I'm working on the dirt shovel.
What'd you do to it now?
Let's see. Change new rear tire, more aggressive tire on the back. I put one of those Kenda big blocks on.
Nice.
And I'm actually pulling the top end apart now and putting some Weisco forged pistons in it and a new cam, a little bit more modifications. I want to make it faster because me and Steve Peffer, we're gonna drag race this summer. We're gonna do dirt drag races. I'm gonna race his dirt knuckle, and we're gonna have a race with the dirt shovel against the dirt knuckle, and I'm gonna make sure that I smoke his ass. You know,
Dude,
I love it.
You
and
and
Rich, do
Pepper.
you have somebody competent up there that does your motor work for you on that?
Like, does the loser have to buy Outback?
I send everything to Pat Jansen.
That's smart. Send it to me. Yeah, I got a guy. I'll box it up, send it to him. He sends me hot sauce. I send him motors.
Yeah, I got some projects. I got some projects going on right now. Some more motors here.
Oh man, look at that.
For some customers.
You're making me jealous. Look at that.
Right.
Now, Rich, obviously you love machining and you love building motors, but specifically you love building shovel heads. What's it about the shovel heads that you're loving so much?
Well, I love shovels because to me the shovel head is last. Shovel head is the very last of the old school motors, cast iron cylinder engines, and you could build a shovel be as reliable as a 2020 Harley Davidson. That's what I say all the time. You can make these old bikes run just like new.
Hey, Pat.
Hey, what's up?
I love the fact that in the middle of all of this, Evan is actually installing a flathead engine in something.
Evan asked me if it would be rude if he did that. Can you hear me, Evan?
Yeah, I can. I didn't want to be rude. I promised the customer I'd get it in by tomorrow.
Hey, dude, listen. If I had a flathead project going on right now, I would not consider it to be rude whatsoever.
Can you hear me all right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we can't see you, so that's even better. So you keep working like that. Now, George, what do you have in the shop that you're working on? Rich is working on this.
I want to see some cool bikes.
Dirt shovel.
Yeah.
What are you working on now? What
kind of bikes you got in there?
Right now, we're mainly based doing maintenance work. It's April, so it's all service work and stuff like that. We've got probably 7 builds going on right now. 6 of which I probably don't want to show on Facebook. It's, customer builds where they just pick parts from a catalog and I install them.
That's
well,
good.
That's right.
Hey,
That's
okay.
okay.
I wrote an article for Cycle Source about
Yeah,
those
man, I
kinds of
mean-
bikes. It's not easy to do.
But you
I
know,
tell you, I tell you, because that's the thing. We got custom bikes, you know, that are one-off builds, but then trying to take parts and put them together, you know, off the shelf or catalog parts and put them together in a way that makes a good-looking motorcycle is challenging in and of itself. So that's an art in and of itself. I mean, gardeners don't make flowers; they arrange them in a way that makes it a beautiful presentation. So, I mean, that's
a beautiful analogy.
right?
Yes, it is. Thank you
There's
very
another
much.
there's another way to say it.
Let's spread
I
the
always
word.
tell my customers the same thing, man. You could pick a bunch of awesome parts and put them together and look like crap. You gotta mix them right. So like I try and steer the guys certain ways. So sometimes there's just no steering. You know, they want hypercharges and all
Oh,
that.
you know,
crap.
sometimes it's like too much.
Yeah, but you know what? What's not your cup of tea, maybe somebody else's.
That's
Do you
right.
have anything you can show us?
Oh yeah, sure. of
Even if
course.
it's not your cup of tea, I'd love to see what other people dig. I mean, that's
Yeah,
kind of for
that's
me what bike night is about.
Yeah.
Is looking at the cool stuff, the not so cool stuff, and the you should have stopped 10 parts ago stuff.
People will have 3 bikes they want to build, but they've only got money for half of one, and they build that half a bike, and it looks like half of the 3 they wanted to build. I mean, they can do some atrocious things on the left of their own device.
But again, you know, to each their own. You know, like I just was fortunate enough to write an article, and I actually said in there, you know, it's not my particular taste, but hands down, you cannot discount the craftsmanship that goes into it. So
I mean, and also, I mean, they're selling those parts. People are buying them. Somebody likes them.
somebody's got to like them.
So
yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm not complaining. I'm not saying that those bikes aren't something that supports my business, feeds my family. Absolutely. I mean,
Oh, George, I kind of heard you complaining, and you said you weren't going to deal with any of your catalog companies anymore.
But
cancel my dealer relationships.
no, I love Drag Specialties. They have the best parts in the world, and same thing with Tucker. They're awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, wait a
I can't do
minute.
drag specialties because I can't afford $25,000 a year.
It's
or
not
whatever that minimum is to get
$25,000.
into drag specialties.
Dude, I mean,
Brutal. I'd have to order everything from them all the time. That's why they do that. I get
one
it.
of your customers like, hey, I just left George's shop.
George, are you still in Long Island? Where in the hell are you going?
I'm just walking around my shop, man.
Oh, where's the bike? I haven't seen a bike yet.
How
What
big
is-
is your shop, dude?
Right? Do we need to go
All
there?
right. Yep. You just fingered us.
I want to know
There
how
we
big
go.
his shop is.
Maybe we need to do a what's in your shop with him.
Ooh. That might
Okay,
not
so
be
this,
cool.
this is the bike I
I mean,
built
might
for
be cool.
myself.
Okay, wait a
after
minute.
I was a little annoyed with the world, and I had it sitting on a lift for about 4 years, and
I love that
did
bike,
about
George.
did about 4 hours work on it in 4 years, and then finally brother passed, and I just got annoyed at the world and kind of said screw it and locked myself away and built this.
I love that.
George, show us
that
those.
bike, George.
I love that bike too. Show us the triple trees on that.
The triple trees are our own triple trees. Basically, what they are they're designed so you can bolt the GSXR, 90s to 2000s GSXR front end directly onto any Sportster, Dyna, or Softail. It's a trail perfect on a Sportster and a Dyna. It's a Softail. It's a little off, but it still works good. Obviously, on this one, we put a steering damper on it, and a bunch of other little odds and ends.
Do we have those on our War Pony?
Oh, the War Pony, yeah. I was trying to talk Chris into that. He already had the original GSXR tree on the bottom.
Oh, that's
I think
right,
he
that's
made up
right.
the top tree. Will made up the top tree.
Now you're getting Justin Lowe down in Atlanta's machining those for you.
Yep. Revolution Performance, man. They build some cool stuff, and I designed them. He threw a little bit of a twist on them, which I liked, and we worked together, and he got them perfect, exactly how I want them. So
he's a good guy. Now, do you have any sets of those yet in stock to be able to sell?
Right now, I don't have any in stock. I've kind of used them all, but whenever somebody needs them, we're a couple weeks away from just sending them out whenever they need them. And not for nothing, you can get this front end on the bike. A lot of guys out there selling those complete front ends for like $4 or $5 grand or something like this. By the time you're done with this, you're into it for $1,500, and
yeah, that's a nice way to
wind
go.
up with great calipers, wind up with the great forks, and and honestly, oddly, the GSXR front ends are basically set up weight distribution perfect for almost a Sportster or a Dyna.
And
yeah, because
I'll
I
tell you-
actually want to point out that that's not just for the forks. You actually, that whole kit does that. I mean, it's so that you can mount your wheel and brakes and everything.
Yeah.
So,
Yep. We use a stock like mid-glide front wheel from a Super Glide on it, and
Jesus,
bolt
fucking
up
Patrick
the
Garvin.
calipers. The only thing you have to do is space out the calipers to match up to whatever size rotors you have. Sometimes you get 10.5s or 11s or something like that, and
Hey,
they're designed to work with just I believe it's like a 3 millimeter rotor.
George, somebody's asking about the tail section on that.
Tail section, yeah, I handmade the tail section. Tail section is also the oil bag on this bike.
Nice.
Now I have had a lot of people ask me, when you do that, does that make the seat hot, or is because it's up and out of the way, does it stay pretty cool?
You don't feel it at all. I mean, honestly, I hear people say that all the time. And what's the difference behind you or underneath you? Obviously,
Well, it depends on who it is that's behind you or underneath you. Quite frankly,
You've got a
George.
pretty hot ass anyway, so it'd be hard for you to tell.
Squats, man, squats. Do a lot of them.
Squats, I hear you. So, hey, Patrick Garvin just showed up from
You be nice.
Industry man, J&P Cycles. How you doing, Patrick?
It's official. They let anybody in here.
Oh man, you know you're a good guy. You know you are the shit when you can tell a company to go take a flying at a rolling donut, go to work for 2 other companies, and then say, "Hey, I'm coming back to work." And they're like, "Okay."
Yeah.
Flying F on a rolling donut.
It's a mutual understanding. It worked out great. Landed me out here in Sturgis, and I love it out here.
That's good. It looks like you're living the life out there, brother. It looks like you're living the life.
I do what I can to stay on motorcycles, and it like I said, it worked out.
That's great. That's great. Now, Charlie, what are you riding?
I've got several in the garage. My primary is a Road Glide. My Ironhead's my favorite, to be honest with you. I like riding that the best.
All right.
I've got a wide variety. I got a KTM Super Duke that I'd love to get on and throw around too. But most of the time, my Road Glide or my Ironhead.
Now that's the one with the gold tank behind you. Show me that bike. Can you walk me over there? Is that gonna be hard to do?
Yeah.
You got your camera.
No, I could probably show you.
It's a bike night. I figured I'd look at some bikes tonight.
Man, Charlie's got some cool stuff. It's not a bike, but he has the
I don't know if
coolest
I
golf
can-
cart I think I've damn near ever seen.
I'm trying. I can't figure out with the camera here the way this thing is.
There you go.
I don't know if I'm hitting it or not.
You're hitting it. You're hitting it. Ooh, right there. Right there. Right there.
Nice.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
That bike was actually built for my wife, and I ended up taking it over. I liked it too much, so I just enjoy riding it a lot. I enjoy
Charlie,
riding
that
it
says a
lot.
lot about you. Nothing good, but it says a lot about you.
Hey, Pat. One of the
What does she
You know how
ride
it
now?
is, man.
What does she ride?
She's got she actually, we just got rid of her night train and we did a 48, not a 48, iron, a Sportster 48.
You're getting
custom painted it up and tricked it out for. Yeah.
Nice.
How much of that
she has
moonshine have you had
KTM
so
as
far,
well.
Charlie?
A good bit. Well, y'all been talking, so I've been drinking and listening. That's what Bike Night's about, right?
That's right. That's right. Now, Evan, are you doing okay?
I'm doing great.
Evan's just all we got right now is a picture of a flathead. What a
Maybe he's underneath the flathead.
So,
Amy,
hey,
show me what you're riding.
hey, Patrick.
Yeah, I can do
Pat.
that.
Doing great, baby.
All right.
Let me see if I can figure out how to make this work.
I see you again.
Okay, good. Oh yeah, I have to.
So
I can hear you.
kind of like with a lot of bike nights, we have invited Patrick Garvin here to give us a rundown of the newest Indian, right?
Yes. All right, so now that I have the screen turned around right, is it showing on the thing? Okay. I have my 07 Nightster that I ride. And it's
right on.
Like bolted together. It's been built like this since 07. It needs a new paint job because it's got a nice dent in the tank from last season.
All right, how'd that happen?
I ran into Benny.
So I ran into Benny.
Yeah, he was riding his FXR, this big daddy, and he had this like tent on it that was like way up here. and I couldn't see his arm signals, and he turned pretty abruptly into a gas station, and I just T-boned him.
Way to go, Benny. Benny
Yeah.
the Bonehead. Jesus. So, well, very cool. Yeah, what's
I have
that?
my iron head back here too. We have a lot of bikes in here. I didn't really give you like the full scope, but like our garage is kind of full.
That's
How many bikes do you guys have?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6 in the works. We got 7 in the shed.
I love
we
that
got
she
8
has
on
to
the
count
list.
them to know.
We got an iron head on the table.
Do you
so,
know
like,
how many
9.
you have right
Yes,
off
I
the
do.
top?
Oh, that's.
No, I don't.
Okay.
I don't.
We got Patrick. We got Patrick Garvin over here, and in South Dakota they have a curfew. It's only for Patrick. They don't like him speaking, and actually his wife imposed it. She doesn't like him speaking after a certain time of the day. So we're gonna get to Patrick. But Patrick, well, how you doing out there, buddy?
Good, man. Yeah, normally that time I'm not supposed to speak after is about 7 a.m.
Oh,
I'm not.
You're a
Did
little
she get
late.
you up at 7:30? Yeah.
Yeah, about 7:05.
There you go. What you got going on out there, man?
So we got a couple of new Indians out here. You guys got all these cool custom bikes. I actually have some bone stalkers here.
Awesome. Thanks for being with us.
Yeah.
Come again.
So this Challenger here came out brand new this year, and Indian was nice enough to drop one off. And we actually had a 2020 Road Glide here, so I did a comparison. We made a video, and I wrote a big article, and it created quite a stink. But so Chris wanted me to maybe talk about it a little bit. The long and short of it is, it's a really, really good bike. I know it's people call it a Road Glide clone or whatever, but I tell you what, it makes the bacon, man. It's just a really good all-around bike, and it really rails. Obviously we have great roads to ride out here, and I've got about 500 miles on this here in the last few weeks, and man, it rips. I mean, if you got a Road Glide, and if you don't have a built motor, some suspension, and some good tires on it, it's gonna eat your lunch.
All right, right on. Now, what are you going to do to it?
Actually, starting tomorrow. Tomorrow will be bars. We'll kind of work our way through it. And that's one of the things I pointed out in the video. I mean, if you're like most of us that are on this call and you like to tinker with stuff and you like to customize stuff, this probably isn't the bike for you. It's a great out-of-the-box bike, but if you want to build something, you know how it is. The aftermarket's going to be a little bit slower to come to it. So, I mean, we're going to kind of mess with it as it goes. First thing we're going to do is bars. We have air filter coming for it. We have some pipes coming for it. Tuner's going to be later. But out of the box, man, it's an animal. It really is. It makes about 105 at the wheel. The brakes are insane. The brakes are crazy good. I don't know if you guys can see them there. Basically race spec Brembos on an inverted front end, monoshock rear end.
They stole that from George.
Yeah, they stole it from George. George, your front end's on here.
Yeah, Rich used to work at an Indian dealership until he gave him the flying bird and said, "Screw you." But Rich, you were building some pretty good Indian motors, weren't you?
Yeah, they actually Indian Motorcycle of Springfield. They're local to me. They the owner, he's got a pretty awesome collection of old vintage bikes. So that's how I knew the owner, and he called me and offered me a job there actually to build motors. I was doing taking all the 111 Thunderstroke motors and doing the 116s to them, and I worked there for a while. And then Harley Davidson dealer, they give me a call and they wanted me to come work there also, and just made me a better offer. And
that's what work
being
works.
more of a Harley guy, I guess I ended up over at the Harley dealer for a little while, building motors there too, the new Milwaukee 8s and a lot of twin cams. So I mean,
Patrick, you can always give Rich a call there. Yeah.
All the motors. All the motors that I've done all these years. I mean, I love shovels just because I love old vintage bikes and I love shovel heads. But I mean, I've done everything from pan shovels, Evos, twin cams, and Milwaukee 8s. Probably a couple hundred motors or more.
The Indian, yeah. What's that bike behind you, Patrick?
So he mentioned he was doing 116s. This is a brand new Chieftain. So we have we just finished shooting this today. This has the new 116 in it. So obviously they took cues from you, man, and said, "Hey, we're putting all these 116s in them. We might as well put them in there from the factory."
Right.
So they are kind of like Harley Davidson. So.
Yeah, kind of like that.
Those are great motorcycles.
Yeah, I mean, so the thing with the Challenger, it's I guess the antithesis to the Chieftain and the Harley, in that it's actually a liquid cooled overhead cam motor. So it's
Those things,
yeah, man, it really gets down. There's no doubt about it. I know I might be kind of too much of a look behind the curtain. I know S&S is building a real hot rod one of these.
Yeah.
So I can't wait to see what they do with it. But if it comes out of S&S and they have this to start with, the thing's probably just going to be a killer.
Yeah, probably too much to ride. Probably.
I rode a Chieftain from Las Vegas to Southern California in a day. It was like 400 miles. It was amazing.
Yeah. Well, that's right. You did that with that guy that jumps bikes off of things. What's his name?
Jonas Brothers, I think.
The Jonas Brothers. That's what it was.
No, not that one. He was one of the
At
Odds
least it wasn't one
boys.
from the drummer with Nickelback that Chris is always hanging out with. Hey, I want to give something away real quick to the folks on Facebook. So you guys sitting here, and Rich, if you open your mouth, I'm going to fly up there. I'm going to punch you right in the dick. I'm not supposed to say that, but I'm going to. So I'm going to punch you in your Evan. That's what I meant to say. But we're going to give some away. This is going to be for a Cycle Source hat. Because Heather said
Free shit.
you can't have one. You can buy one. Go online. What year was the first shovel head? Since we've talked so much about them. So somebody on Facebook.
Not you, Rich. Shut up.
Bring that up there, and you get Heather and Missy will take care of the hat.
Rich, you're disqualified because you can't follow directions.
What else has JMP got going with this Indian project?
So we're gonna be. So we've already got a couple videos.
Son of a bitch.
Maintenance videos, how to take the outer fairing off, how to take the gas tank
Jason,
off.
we should have said he
that's
couldn't
what
win
we're gonna
either.
know to get to the handlebars. So we'll keep cranking it out as far as like modifications. We're trying to, we have one of these for a while. We sponsored the flat track team in a pretty big way last year and again this year. So this is kind of where we're at as far as bikes. They're being very forthcoming with bikes. I have a couple of FTRs. We have a Challenger and a Chieftain. So 3 big projects going with that. You can find all that stuff at Countersteer. So I really appreciate you guys letting me come on here and run my mouth like normal.
Hey Pat, thanks
Oh,
for being
absolutely,
here.
dude.
I have
It's
shop
on my
envy, by the
schedule that
way.
you couldn't stay with us for the whole time, but I sure do appreciate you coming on and chit-chatting with us. And hey, brother, I don't know if Sturgis is happening or not. I hear that it's a go, but I'm going to be out there anyway. I'm going to come out.
Me
So,
too. Show
Well,
of hands.
wait,
Who's
wait.
going to Sturgis regardless?
Wait a
Yes.
minute now. Just this week on Shop Talk, we had Pat Jansen. We had Pat Jansen on too, but we had Patrick Garvin on, and we were talking about Sturgis. And I mean, it's really the middle of the road now, man. So many people are one way or the other, and it's going to come down to a time crunch. But I think the one common theme that I'm hearing about this is one way or another, a bunch of guys on bikes are coming to South Dakota, and they're going to be looking for a place to party.
We're going to be there.
So as far as the city's concerned, it's on. It would take a federal mandate at this point to stop it. Our governor has been very public about protecting our civil liberties out here and keeping the state open. So right now everything's on.
Yes,
even if
Tammy.
it's not, you guys know where to find me. Come on out.
Right on, man.
Right
Well,
on.
I'll look you up.
We're
for
gonna
sure,
put our
man. It's
camper in
always
your
good to
front
see you,
yard.
Good to talk
Yeah.
to you. And tell my buddy, I know that he lives in my state, but he never comes visit me. Steve Eiselstein, the Iowa Jew. Tell him to-
Are you allowed to
Didn't
say
you get in
that?
trouble for that?
I got in trouble for that, but you know what I didn't get in trouble for?
Wait,
From
just
those
for the record,
whiny
that's
little
what Steve calls
bitches
himself.
at IMS. I didn't get in trouble when the next time I looked and said he was the Iowa Episcopalian. Nobody said anything.
Hey, actually, you guys take it easy.
Wow.
All right, man.
Let's
See you,
spare
man.
her drink
Later.
out.
Oh.
Hi,
Can you
Patrick.
imagine the 80th Sturgis being canceled?
Okay, so Pat,
Oh,
you just
no.
almost made me spit my twisted tea out. For everybody that answered the trivia question, the answer is 1966. Jason Sims and Kieran McGarry answered it right first, so we're gonna hook them up
All
with
right,
some swag.
Kieran.
All right, look at that. Way to go,
and
guys.
I want to just say
Being
bug
on
killer.
the bubble there.
Oh yeah.
I
All
stayed
right.
I stayed with Kieran when we were in Daytona this year.
Nice.
Right
Corona
on.
Bike Week.
So our buddy,
Corona Bike Week.
our
You're
buddy-
such a smart ass.
Hey, they got the shirts, man. You can buy the shirts now.
No, you can't.
All right.
Really?
Where can you buy them, Pat?
Corona.
What's that?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, Corona Bike Week. They're selling them on Main Street.
Probably
geez.
hot
Wow.
Andy, do you have
gotta
those?
Get those from Charlie. Charlie will back them to you.
So Laura
Absolutely.
says the hamsters will
Hey.
be in Sturgis. I know Cycle Source will be in Sturgis.
Yes.
I know ShopTalk will be in Sturgis. I know Bike Night will. Oh wait a minute, those are all the same thing. Damn it.
We're gonna be there.
We'll be there.
We're gonna come.
I'm going to
Hopefully
Sturgis.
we
I mean, I'm
never
going to
be in
ride out
Sturgis.
this year. We're going to do it. So it's, but to go back though, because man, I watch people's social media. I don't get involved in the conversations, but I do know that we got to be real careful with our conversations about it, because to George's point, George knows 8 people that have lost their lives to it, and his sister has just recovered from it as one of the frontline healthcare people. So, there are a lot of us that, simply, honestly, here in Iowa, when they said social distance, I'm not kidding. I mean, it really hasn't affected my world a whole lot. Because
No,
my
you guys
shop's
actually
300
looked
feet
around.
behind
So
my
what do we
house.
got to get
My old lady
closer?
works from home. We've got a cow and a pig in the freezer. I got a year's worth of vegetables, and I'm kind of a prepper. But so it hadn't really affected us that much. But
You got a stockpile of toilet paper?
Yeah.
you know what?
We might
I
have a little
do.
bit of
I
that.
was like, as soon as
Dude, I
people
can't-
started, I
I
got
can't buy
like,
toilet paper. I don't know
I
what
mean,
the
I don't
hell
have a
people are
lot.
doing.
I don't have a lot, but when all that hit and people were going out buying toilet paper, I thought, what's the big deal? But I got like 120 rolls of toilet paper just in case.
Nice.
I think I'm down to
They're
3
running out.
rolls
They're
right
running
now,
out of
man.
meat.
So you know what
They're
I'm
running-
looking forward to the
Running out of
most?
food and meat in the supermarkets and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That we're good. I got plenty of food and meat, man. And just no paper products, no fucking no paper towels, no fucking toilet paper. I don't get it. I don't understand it at all. Why?
I don't understand
what
it
the hell is
either,
the
but-
toilet paper?
All right.
Well,
I
you
want to
gotta grow
see some
your
more cool
own.
motorcycles.
Have you ever been on a shitter and run out of paper, George?
We need to get Jake back on for a second.
I mean, it's a horrible.
Hey,
I mean, I've been hungry and I've been on a toilet with no toilet paper.
Well,
So,
luckily, I have
hey, guys.
other brand of motorcycle magazines that I use just in case.
Yeah.
Easy. You can use the new Easy Rider.
Well, see, listen,
Oh, hey,
I was just gonna say, you
That
bastards,
or Cosmopolitan, or are they the same? I can't decide.
you bastards used to be able to do that
definitely
with
have
Cycle Source back in the day, but now that it's on glossy paper, you're screwed.
Just wipe it up your back. Man, it's-
He's been waiting to do that.
Right?
So hey, can we
But
get
that
back?
glossy paper, that it is nice and thick though. Maybe you can use it as a paper.
All right,
Now,
hey,
I see
Patrick.
I see
Benny,
my friends
understood
fold up
what
stuff.
Heather wanted to tell. What was Heather?
Okay.
Mr.
what's up?
Jansen?
Hey, Pat.
Yeah.
Can we get Jake back on a little bit?
Oh, there
I
we
wanted
go.
to. That's what I was getting ready to do.
Awesome.
That's a good idea. Jake, do you know another
Jake.
song?
The Jake. We need the Jake back on.
I didn't want to put you on the spot, Jake, but Heather made me.
So,
That's her job. She's the boss.
real quick,
All right, guys,
before
we're gonna hit
Jake
some more
sings-
music with Jake Sherrard. So hit it, Jake.
Thanks, man. I don't know if you guys know about this guy named Tyler Childers.
Oh,
yeah.
yes. We love Tyler Childers.
He
Hell
writes a
yeah.
song. It's called Little Feathery
Yes.
Beans.
Oh, nice. I love that
Sounds so good.
When my boat weighs precious on the inside of her thigh, there are feathered engines where we toss through the night. If I know it was religious, then I wouldn't have came stone to the house of such an angel. Too fucked up to get back home.
job.
Oh yeah.
I love
that's
that
good.
guy.
Saw him in February at the Ryman in Nashville. He sounds as good live as he does in his albums. He's awesome.
I can't wait to see him, man.
Yeah, he's good.
Jake, where are you out of?
We are in Austin, Texas.
Austin, Texas. They said that earlier. That's right. That's where all the music's happening now.
Well, it's about to be again. It's been
Yeah,
tough for the
man.
last month and a half.
They say this was the best South by Southwest ever this year, though.
It was my favorite.
Oh, you smart ass.
It's not going to take over our town.
You want to hear something funny?
Yeah, Evan.
Speaking of country music, see, that's like good, like kind of Americana country music. This story has to relate with shitty country music, but did you guys see that tractor video of me doing the wheelie?
Yeah.
Tractor. We got hit up by the producer for Florida Georgia Line, and they want to use that for their new music video.
Oh, that's good.
Nice.
And so that's good that's good country music if they pay you for the video.
So anyway,
Bad country music if they don't pay for the video.
Right? Yeah,
I'm
literally.
gonna butt in
probably
here
shouldn't even
for a
told you
quick
guys.
second. So I hate to do this, but I know
What's up,
Jake.
Heather?
Well, Jake is too shy and too humble to throw this out there, but he is a working musician in Austin, Texas. The last show he played was with the Black Smoke Sinners at
Daytona.
Corona Bike Week, and when they got home, the country had shut down. So. If you guys like what you hear with Jake, if you want to
We were
support a
literally
working
in the
musician,
air when they decided to shut everything down.
Yeah.
So we got home. We had no work.
so please throw a couple bucks in Jake's tip jar at Venmo at Jake-Sherrard. We would certainly appreciate it. I know Jake would appreciate it.
He's also got PayPal, and his PayPal is sideman3000@gmail.com. And I've been trying to post the link, but for some reason it won't take. But I'll try and get it up in there.
So,
Well, and if you guys can't figure all of that out, you can always just go to Sin Central's PayPal. It's donate at Sin-Central. No, seriously, George, I'm not ripping. I'm not taking Jake's money.
No.
That donate button at PayPal, donate at sincentral.com, is set up specifically as a fund right now to help people in the industry like Jake that are out. So go ahead. You can do that too.
I was thinking about that, about musicians traveling, because I listen to a lot of like small, like singer-songwriter type people, about people traveling in and around, that this might be their first, second year trying to build their name in the industry, and then like everything gets shut down. This could have been their big breakout year. All their gigs just got canceled. It's gotta suck, you know.
That's what we were hoping. That's what we were hoping for the sinners.
It's terrible. Evan, thank you for joining us, Evan. Fucking idiot.
Hey, you're welcome.
I think luckily the pandemic has sold more Speakeasy Motors whiskey than anything.
Right.
I think it probably has. Yeah, Evan's on Easy Street. You'd think he'd get a camera that was worth a shit. Hey, Benny. Benny, show me the bike that you were riding when you ran into Amy because you don't know how to use hand signals, as she said.
He crashed into me.
This is going to be good when they get off the air.
We know who's on the couch tonight.
It's just a 92 lowrider. I bought it from the dealership for like $3,000. Actually, the dealership she used to work for, and took all the stock shit off of it and actually gave the tins.
Good man.
Hey.
I gave the tins to Roadside Marty for his bike.
You don't give Roadside Marty anything. Come on now. You should know better than
I was going
that.
to fuck him up if I kept him.
Give him a hard time.
Shit.
So he sent me a
Roadside's a
replacement tin.
millionaire, man. He's like Bill Dodge. They're millionaires.
Yeah,
what's
I just
that
built
front
like a
end?
tall sissy bar for it, so whenever we go on long trips, I can.
Is that the bike we had on the
Nice.
show?
do it as
Yeah.
I need to.
Dude,
Right
I
on, man.
love
Well,
that
that's
bike.
cool. And that's a pretty big bike for her not to be able to see in front of her.
Yeah.
Oh.
Boy, Pat's just stoking the
She
fire.
hit me, and I just stopped, and I put my feet down, and she fell over, and I was just like, "Are you okay?" It wasn't.
You
like
did
a
not
gnarly
laugh at her,
crash.
did
Did she
you?
get hurt?
No, she was fine. Like I think her pride and the tank was dented. That was about it.
Yeah. Well, good. So there's some reminder. I mean, you got to give somebody a reminder. So now, Charlie, you Now, Charlie, you made a lot of money, and it looks like you're about 45 years old. You retired to Florida, to your estate down there.
Yeah.
Charlie, where were you?
I'm 54.
You're 54?
West Virginia. Yeah, West Virginia. Worked for the state.
I don't know why you
Retired down here.
Retired down. How long have you been in?
Yeah, I bought this 7, 8 years now. I bought this house when the market crashed for an investment, and fell in love down here, man, and just
And then he bought the house
kept
next
coming
door.
down.
And he let us
Got
crash
tired
in
of
it.
snow.
Right on.
That Heather?
I said, then he bought the house next door and let us hooligans crash in it for a week.
Yeah. The garage band.
Nice.
They stayed there.
All I need is a bathroom. I don't really even need a bathroom. I mean, I need a shower, but a hose will do me. I just sleep in the back of my truck. So I'll come down to
I'll tell you what, when they rolled in, I think all the neighbors, we got a pretty quiet neighborhood. We live right by the beach. And when they rolled in, I think they were all thinking, what the hell is going to happen? Shit, you didn't even know they were next door. They were awesome.
He's like, don't you ever stop
I've traveled
working?
a lot with Chris and Heather, and one thing I can tell you is they are not hell raisers anymore.
Oh,
anymore. I just disappointed I didn't get to spend much time with them because they were working and I had just had surgery actually, so I didn't get to go out and do a whole lot. But
Well, they always at night, we get done working and stuff when we were traveling, and they'd be like, "You don't have to stay home. You can go out. We know you want to, go drinking and raise hell and stuff."
Yeah, how did that work out in Laconia?
Hey, that brings up another thing. We're going to give away a Twisted Tea T-shirt or two. Whoever can answer this. What was Chris's name back in? What was Chris Callan's nickname back in the day? Does
Can I
anybody
answer?
remember
Can I
that?
answer?
No, you
bastard.
can't.
You bastard.
What was that back in the day? So somebody on Facebook come up with that one.
I don't remember that.
You don't remember?
Oh,
Somebody
come
will
on.
come up with that.
Oh, come on,
will come up
somebody
with that.
has
Look at
to
Ben.
know.
Amy just ditched us. Where the hell did Amy go? I just noticed Benny's T-shirt was on upside down. Or those underwear that
Oh,
you
we
wore
got,
on your
we
head.
got a winner. We got a winner.
Wow.
Oh, you got a
look
winner.
at that.
Yeah, who is it?
Lisa Marie.
Lisa from Still City Harley.
Chris's nickname was if you can believe it. If you know Christopher Callan right now, you would never believe that back in the day his name was Wild Man.
Ladies and gentlemen, my wife.
I thought Chris used to do porn back in the day.
He did, but now he doesn't do it anymore. So
But
much to my
that
chagrin.
Monday.
Hey,
So
I
I gotta
just
tell you
did a
that
porn
story.
video recently.
Rich Patone, we're all
This
sitting
was the
at night.
soundtrack for it.
I remember meeting
Very
him like
long
15
day.
years ago at a New Jersey Atlantic City
Right?
bike
A
show.
whole bunch of us just hanging out, and Rich
man, and I was like,
Patoniak
what?
straight up asked Chris, "Did you used to do porn?"
Somebody asked him that? Yeah, they
Rich.
did.
Rich did.
Rich did.
Yeah, Rich asked.
And
did
he
do
was
it.
We were having dinner up in at the
Dude.
Christmas Tree Inn up in Laconia, and I read this article 20 years ago in a magazine, and I said to Chris, "Hey Chris, do you remember you used to do porn back in the day? I read that," and he said it was actually a joke, little bit of a joke thing on it.
But like,
It wasn't a little bit of a
literally
joke.
just almost spit out my steak.
I've never done a professional porn.
Laura,
I
can
would,
we
I
see
would
it?
say it was a big joke if I were you, Chris. Don't go with the little bit. It's big
Yeah,
joke.
it's a big
Laura,
joke.
no,
It's a big
Laura.
joke.
Laura, we
That's
don't
what I
wanna
was
see
saying.
it.
It wasn't a little bit of a joke. It was a big old joke. That's how we say it from
So-
where I'm from.
So
What magazine was that, Chris? That was the Horse or something, right? Years ago.
Oh, bad
Yeah.
words.
Yep. Yeah,
Yeah,
it was.
watch-
Yeah, it
watch
was
your
a different
mouth,
kind of
Rich.
horse.
So Chris,
I'm not saying it's a horse. I don't have a horse. It's not a log. It's
Smart
not a
ass.
log. Not
Yeah.
like you
Do you
think I
have a
said log.
motorcycle in your shop, or are you just doing cars now?
Oh man, I can give you a grand tour if you want.
Yeah, give us a grand tour of that beautiful
All right, let me
place
turn-
there. His shop is like a boutique
That's it.
shop.
Well, here's
Oh,
this
is that a
model I have
Bronco?
building for the racing gentleman. That's the one I just dropped the motor in.
Is that yours?
No, everything you see here is customer stuff. Nothing here is
Alright.
mine.
The horse.
oh my god.
No, literally nothing here is mine. That's a chopper I've been building for a while. I did all the sheet metal work. This is another 30 Model A that I'm putting on 32 rails. I chopped that 4 inches. This is a bitchin' little Honda XL 175. I think everyone had one of these back in the day.
Oh yeah.
This is a CB750 Cafe Racer. This is a cool little, really simple, clean, sporty chop that I'm doing.
Yeah, man, that's cool. I
Yeah,
love that
just
line. I love that. I know Chris likes that line from the
Yeah.
neck straight back to the axle. know
I
you
sure
like that.
do.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
nice.
for
Yeah,
sure.
that's nice, Evan.
Really,
yeah,
really
Evan.
just clean, simple, less is more. You know, everyone knows where I used to work, and I used to build all these crazy over-the-top, like bells and whistles bikes. And now all these bikes that I've recently been building, I've kind of brought back.
You used to work for Sons of Anarchy, right?
Realistic, you know. Over here is my fab shop. This is a 1934 Hupmobile.
Oh, cool.
There's less than 10 of these known left in the world to exist of this model.
And if you get some of that old
Doing
shit
a
out of the way, you
full
could put
mechanical
4 bikes there.
restoration. It's big straight 8 cast iron.
What'd you say, Chris?
I said if he gets some of that old shit out of the way, he could put 6 bikes there.
There's
No
one
shit.
of 10. Christopher, that is
Fucking
one of
mess.
10.
And then this.
What is that?
That's a tank. Oh.
Magnet charger.
What?
Oh my.
Again, what? Wow.
Big Magnuson. This bike,
We
I'm
love
building
Zoom.
for one of Paul Jr.'s clients. I'm doing all the fab work. I probably shouldn't have said that.
That's okay. They're probably not
I'm
watching.
doing all the fab work on it, and you know.
That's all right. He's not watching.
Yeah, we're good.
So I just picked up a bunch of equipment, and from a local shop. So I bought a bunch of the equipment. So I just redid this whole area, so it's still kind of a mess.
Yeah, it is.
What local shop did you get it from, Evan?
Well, you guys have probably heard it, probably seen it on TV. Anyway, I got this new workbench. I got a tubing notcher. That's my TIG welder. I got a notcher. I got an electromagnetic brake. This is my Pullmax and belt sanders.
Oh, I want the Pullmax.
Yeah, it's my baby.
Did you have anything old that you wanted to ship me? I'll pay for shipping.
Son of a bitch, these cameras keep moving.
I got plenty of shit. Actually, I have a planishing hammer if you're interested.
I do. I'm interested. PM me. I'm taking it. You guys shut up. I'm taking it.
I got that.
Well,
Hey,
now
you
I
know
need a
what?
new one.
I want to see that Bronco.
Oh,
Oh,
can
it's
you
a
see the
Scout.
Bronco? Oh, a Scout.
This
Can a
is a
Scout? Oh,
1,000
wow.
horsepower Scout that I'm building.
A what?
Nice.
So,
How many
big
horsepower?
look. I made this top hood scoop. So this is on the plasma table that I bought from another shop that happens to be in this broadcast. Should I name him?
Yeah, throw him under the bus.
George.
George didn't realize he had to have a computer to run it, and it just really screwed him up.
You know.
Here's the motor for it. It's 1,050 horsepower. So I did all the
Wow.
shock towers and the top brace, and there's a big supercharger. And
So
That's
nice.
I'm gonna do a shameless
It's-
plug for Evan right here.
what's that?
What's the sweatshirt you're wearing?
What's the
The
sweatshirt?
sweatshirt.
The sweatshirt. What are you wearing?
Chaos.
Oh,
I
love Goodwill
Look at
too.
that.
Ass kisser.
Last week
So-
were awesome.
Ass kisser.
All right, so I'm gonna talk
Oh,
about
hi,
something.
Jack.
I'm gonna talk about something real serious. I'm gonna do a shameless plug for Evan here. So not only does Evan do all this amazing stuff with fabrication and motorcycles and cars and some stuff that people could only ever dream of, he actually handcrafts limited casks bourbon, speakeasy bourbon.
Right. We're right.
They're a rye, yeah.
I don't know what that noise is for. Is that a good noise or a bad noise? or-
Yeah, because when you go to howl at the moon, that's what happens when I drink
Oh,
bourbon.
It kind of sounded like a cow. I wasn't sure.
I got mine too, George. Look at that.
But,
Look at that. And you know, I've loved Evan since he was. I've loved Evan since he was in New Jersey. Followed him a long time. I told him years ago. I said, man, you can't just do these little metric bikes. You got to do cars, and then you got to have something outside of it. He's taking it to a whole nother level. And so, as a thank you, he let me buy 2 bottles of his whiskey.
Why is it so full, Pat?
And
Pat,
we're
why
here
isn't it
drinking beer.
empty yet?
Hey, wait
Oh,
a
the
wait
other
a
one's
minute.
empty.
Everyone on this
I bought
program
one to
tonight.
display. I'm going to get him to autograph it if he ever comes back to Iowa.
Everyone
I'd
on this
like
program tonight is having fun except me. I'm drinking coffee.
Well, but wait a
I
minute.
told you guys,
Wait
this
a
guy
minute.
parties. He parties
That
like
is your beverage of choice.
Grandma.
It's fresh
Can't party
coffee.
anymore.
It's
But
fresh
Chris
coffee.
partied enough back in the day.
Oh,
For
yeah.
20
For all of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if
Yep.
Chris had kept partying the way he was, he'd have ended up like me, and nobody wants that.
I like when them young guys go, yeah, I bet you were wild, man. Why don't you tell us some stories? And I do, and they sit there and go, bro, is that real?
So, just to give you a little
my
glimpse.
biggest problem is my brother. He's 2 years older than me. He lives in Florida. He'll show up and just start telling stories. And I'm like, dude,
do we need to meet your brother?
Chris has stories like you would not believe.
My
Like,
brother has no filters.
yeah,
so.
Chris has stories like when I first met Chris.
Hanging out with you when you're drunk.
George had to be my keeper. George and my wife Tracy and I were in Daytona. We were looking for everybody, and I got drunk. And Tracy was like, and George was like, I think you need some help with Pat. And Tracy was like, I always need help with Pat. So they ended up getting. Thank you, George. Thank you, George.
So Laura,
How about every time we've gone out?
every time, I need to keep her. It used to be a cat named
Arizona, New York.
Well, when I was
Jackie, you're biased.
How about in Chicago with that
Oh,
bar?
my God.
With that motorcycle.
all right. So we've got people asking for a couple
My
wild.
brother's now on air.
We've got
No.
people asking for a couple wild man stories. Let's just give you a little inkling. When
No,
I first,
no,
hey,
no.
no, I'm going to give my stories. So when I first met Chris back in 2006 was when he was still Wild Man. My first major interaction with him, I threw him off my property because he set my parking lot on fire. Now, the parking lot I'm referencing is a 600-acre
we need to
campground.
talk about staying at the house next year then.
Is a 600-acre campground in Sturgis, and it was because he was doing mini bike races, and each time they drove through the bar, they had a different hazard. One first time was ice, then it was water, then it was gasoline and fire.
Oops.
So that's one wild man
Cocaine.
story.
Cocaine is a powerful drug.
Let's see.
All I can say, cocaine is a powerful drug.
Or how about the time he and his bunch of yahoos drove a tractor trailer through my bar?
That's awesome, though.
Oh my
That's,
God.
But
Can you
I bet they
imagine
had a
how
good
much
time.
money he made you?
Or when they shot our sponsor's 50-foot inflatable cowboy with a potato gun. Shall I keep going?
No, wait a minute. I gotta bust in because better than shooting the sponsor's 50-foot cowboy, blow up cowboy with the potato gun was the fact that when he drove his Escalade over to bitch at us, we're like, yeah, bro, sorry, and he goes to drive away. And one of the guys in the back of the Limp Nicky lot shot his Escalade as he was leaving.
Nice.
It was a whole nother fight,
Nice.
dude.
Thank you, Pat Patterson, probably. Thank you very much.
And ladies and gentlemen, that is why my husband drinks coffee.
Yeah.
Hey, I want Jake to get back on here and play a couple. Hey, Jake, do you know 2 songs that you can sing in a row?
No.
It's funny that I ask you that way. Everybody that comes, like Evan was at my shop. People stop at my shop and stuff, or other guys will be like, they'll turn around and look at me and say, do you have a screwdriver? And I'll be like, sure. Actually, it's like a real shop, I could probably scrounge up a 1/2-inch wrench if you needed one. We're asking fun questions. Oh, nice.
All
Somebody's got a dog. I like it.
The doghouse. Somebody's outside our door.
Oh. Hey, Jake, take it away, man. Play us a couple of songs.
This is a song by a local Austin guy named Lou Edmondson, country guy, and I think y'all will dig it.
Woo!
My dogs will accompany me.
All right.
Hold on a second.
Remix.
I just noticed my phone went to low battery mode. Here we go.
George doesn't look like Jake.
No.
about to lose my mind. $100 habit, I ain't got to pay. I wanna run out with a friend of mine. I can't keep a job, I'm too fucked up. DHS about to take my kids. Trying to get well, keep getting sick. Got my sitting in a bucket, got my finger on the trigger.
Awesome.
We got one more for y'all too. So.
Yeah.
This is another tune that some guys here in Austin called the Band of Heathens. They rewrote. They redid.
Hell yeah.
Pretty badass song.
Jake, you're awesome.
Good. I hope you enjoy it. It's called Hurricane.
good stuff, man.
Yeah, my playlist is singing.
Hey guys, during this whole thing that's been going on, this pandemic, a lot of things just get pushed back out of our minds. And Missy and Heather reminded me of this just now. We get a lot of stuff pushed back. The fact that at the very beginning of this, there were some politicians that dumped all their stock right before that kind of got swept under the rug. Other stuff like that, stuff that should be in the news, things that we should remember. Right now, I'm so glad, our nurses and doctors and first responders, and I've got a customer, a guy, really good guy, Brian, and he's a fire chief, and they're putting themselves still out there. All the police are still out there putting themselves out there for us. But one thing that we forget is we've got servicemen and women all over the world
Bug killer.
that are away from home kind of dealing with this kind of stuff, and they're still serving our country. They're still in many places dying for our freedom. I don't know if you've noticed, but service people didn't stop dying just because this pandemic happened.
And more of them are being called up too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
The National Guard's being called
in the
up.
media, can't make money off of that right now. So fuck them, by the way. And,
Tell us how you feel, Pat.
Hey, Pat, just so you know, we are the media.
And to remember you guys. Thank you so much. Past and present.
There you go.
Yes. Hoorah.
Hoorah.
Woo.
I even get my coffee up for that one, Pat.
Look at that. I like it. Guys, man, I didn't. I'm gonna have to check some more about Benny and Amy out, particularly Amy, because during one of the breaks she shook a little boobage in the camera there. And one of the shots, you guys can't see it, but I can. One of the shots, I don't know, maybe you can see it. Hell, I don't know. One of the shots I can see is just a shot of Amy's chest constantly on my head. Really weird. I mean, I'm not complaining. I screenshot it, so it'll be up there now for a few weeks. But
So
Charlie,
it is bike night.
this has been a great bike night for me because you and I don't know each other.
You'll really like Charlie when you get to know him.
Yes, Charlie's awesome.
Jake, I want to hang out with you because you're a musician and everybody likes musicians.
So, real quick, I want to remind everybody, this is our first Bike Night Live. Obviously, we're getting some kinks worked out. I think I have high expectations for this. It's going to get better and better every week. We're going to add in new features every week.
I mean, it's already 9:30.
I know, the time flew by.
Right.
I think we're going to bring in a couple... some bartenders to show us how to mix some drinks and some other cool stuff.
I'd like to have people with chicken wing recipes and pizza recipes.
We need
bike
some
night
chicken
food.
wings.
I would
Where's
like
JoJo
somebody
in
to
those?
deliver.
Where's JoJo?
But anyway, so bear with us.
The make your own bikini thing.
Yeah.
I only got
Well,
half of it last
maybe.
time. I gotta go.
Let me see if I can hook that one up. I'm going to work on that.
I don't know. There were some guys that were real jerk-offs on the rally that didn't like the fire. The girl that was throwing fire around. I thought that was cool as hell.
I thought it was
That was super cool. So we're going to be bringing you more and more of that as that progresses.
I want somebody throwing fire around on my show.
Right on. So next week, we're going to let...
But not here. I don't want it in my house.
Pat.
I mean, out of the shop. This is my liquor.
He doesn't hear us.
So Pat,
okay.
All right. So
use your
guys,
inside
thank
head
you so
voice.
Much. It's so great to hang out with you. Thank you so much.
Can I throw one thing out?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, Charlie, good.
Throw one thing out. Hey, I want to thank Heather. May is Brain Cancer Awareness Month.
Yes.
We did a nice little article on my daughter for that, and much love for that, and I appreciate it. So if y'all get a chance sometime this month, throw some gray on for brain cancer awareness.
Yes, sir.
Thanks, Charlie.
Yes, sir. Thank
I'm
you, Charlie.
always wearing gray. I was into that before you mentioned it, man. Unfortunately, more.
So we also want to throw out.
Can I do a shout out quick?
Yep.
Yeah, man.
Sure.
Go ahead.
Tomorrow is my beautiful wife's 29th birthday.
Ooh, happy birthday,
Happy
Jacqueline.
birthday.
Birthday.
Whatever. Who cares?
And how does she?
You can still hear me. Yeah, that's great, Evan. Thanks for joining us back on the show after work. There, appreciate that.
So you
don't mind, I'd like to shout out my son. He's hiding over there.
Hi.
Hi, Dylan.
He's a new father now.
Congratulations.
And he's also joining the army in a couple months.
Wow.
All right. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you,
Awesome.
Dylan. Right on.
Damn, man, George, I remember when you were showing me that he was Oh my God, he was like
4 when he first started hanging out, man.
Wow, Pat,
gee
you're old.
whiz, that kid's gotten old.
13.
Yeah, he's 19 now, man.
Oh my
Wow.
God, I can't believe it.
So listen,
Like when I met Evan. Evan was like 15, I think, when I first met him.
Oh my
Now he's
God.
Wow.
Chris, no, I need to know what a frozen bushwhacker is.
nice.
So Benny,
Yeah, I
you
just-
got anything? Any last words you want to shout out?
Oh, tell us about your party, Benny.
If anybody ever wants to come party in Indy in May, we're having a pretty bitchin' chopper party.
When is
Yes.
that?
May 23rd.
Benny, I think we're coming up.
Yeah, I think we're gonna come to you, Benny.
Yeah, Benny.
Can
We're
we
ready.
all come?
It's gonna be a shit show, but
And
it's
it's
gonna be
camping
fun.
at
I'm
camping
coming
at
to
Dan's
crash
house,
with you,
right?
Benny. I actually have a bike that's been in my shop for a year and a half. Jeff Nager owns it, and he lives in Indianapolis, and the damn thing needs to be in his shop because if you don't ride it, it leaks because of the check valve. Tired of fucking cleaning up after it. So maybe May 23rd, I'll just drive it to Indianapolis.
There you go.
Come pass out in the yard.
I'll come pass out in your yard, man. That's good. It's one yard I haven't passed out in.
Awesome.
Yeah,
So-
Rich, how about you, man? What any shout outs?
Well, you brought up about what's going on with this pandemic going around the country right now, and there's a real horrible situation going on here locally. There's a place called the Holyoke Soldiers Home, which is full of veterans, and unfortunately, this coronavirus, COVID-19, whatever you want to call it, it's actually now the Holyoke Soldiers Home is, I think it's like becoming one of the unfortunately worst things to happen. They lost, I believe it's up to 80 veterans now in the last month or two that have passed away because of this, and it's really sad in the area. And the Holyoke Soldiers Home is just about 15-20 minutes away from me, and it's pretty sad.
Yeah.
So just moment of peace for our veterans.
Amen.
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 Yes.
Yeah, right on.
So, well, I appreciate you guys being on. I think this was a lot of fun.
Wait a minute, I'm not done with you yet, Mr.
Hey, we're not done.
Hang tight,
Thank you,
hold
Chris
your
and Heather and
horses.
Missy for getting us all together. Mark Persichetti.
Time out.
Gave me a lot of great encouragement before we got on here. The Cyber Rally, I was complete.
All right.
No show on that, and I felt terrible. So Chris and Heather were like, "Man, I will give you one more shot.
One more
shot,
try.
Pat, and after
One
this."
more try.
That's it.
All right, so wait a minute, I have
Well,
something I want to say.
Thank you, Psychosaurus, for having me.
Thanks,
I want.
Rich.
Thank you, Rich.
Okay.
Okay.
Hang on, guys.
Wait, freeze,
All right,
dirtbags.
guys.
No, wait.
Oh, wait. Chris wants to say something.
No, we want to say
No,
something.
shut your
You
pie
told
hole.
me you told me what time the show ended, so go ahead.
Right. Well, we kind of went over, but we want to talk about next week because this is important.
This
First
is
of all-
this is a big new thing we're
All right,
working
so
on.
first of all, thank you
It's gonna
everyone for
start
coming.
with Sunday.
Would you shut up?
Oh, not
We're gonna
that
do the
whole
big
week.
thing next week.
Yes.
Oh my good gracious.
Go ahead, Heather, Missy, Chris.
Your wife is a saint.
Nugget.
Anyway, thank you everybody for coming. Thank you, Jake Sherrod, for entertaining us.
Yes.
Again, if you guys want to throw a couple bucks in Jake's tip bucket, Venmo, Jake-Sherrard, PayPal, Sideman3000 at gmail.com. Anyway, so next week's going to be a little bit different. We want you, the viewers, to come hang out with us. So make sure you check out cyclesource.com. There's going to be a link on the homepage that says Bike Night Live. It's going to give you instructions on how you can sign yourself up to be one of these yahoos on TV with us.
Us
if you all want
yahoos.
to. Us yahoos.
Yes.
Wow.
But anyway, Wild Man. No, Chris, no, Wild Man.
no, Chris,
A
no.
bunch of weirdos.
So
You know, Chris Noah is lining himself up to be a personal ball buster for me, and I'm digging it. Like,
I'm
gonna do my homework, and I'll be back.
Hey,
Listen, there's one thing.
last
There's one thing I
before we
want to
go
say.
Also for the folks out there on the facing books, I'm gonna give you a free 1-year subscription to Cycle Source because I just feel generous that way. If you answer this question,
Not you, Rich.
not you, Rich. What was the first year? What year did Cycle Source start?
Ooh.
printed.
1932.
Chris is about that old.
You little
That's
young
Chris's
prick.
birthday, man. Don't say it was that. No, it wasn't. No, I can't say that because he's younger than I am. Asshole.
Okay, who's got that answer?
Okay,
So,
listen. While they're looking
somebody
for
come
the
up with an
answer,
answer for that, and you're going to get a free 1-year subscription to Cycle Source. And Chris, you got any parting words for us? Any wisdom?
I do have something to bring up. So in addition to the bike nights that we're kicking off this week with Thursday and the different stuff that we're going to say we're going to do for next week, I want to let you guys know about a brand new thing that we're starting next Saturday.
We are a glutton for punishment around here.
Well, you know, listen, we can't be out on the road. We can't be digging on time with our motorcycle family and doing motorcycle stuff. So I am only drinking coffee, and that gives me energy rather than, you know, get me drunk and have me fall asleep on the couch. So I have shit to do. Well, Saturday mornings, we're going to be doing Saturday morning swap meet. It's kind of going to be like motorcycle people mixed with home shopping network. So it's going to be a lot of cool shit.
Oh, that's cool.
Right. So once a week we're going to do this, and we're going to do, you know, a handful of guys, maybe 12 guys to come on with 12 parts. We're going to put their parts up, feature their parts, talk about their parts. Then one time a show every
Draco.
Saturday, we're going to have a premium part that's at an actual live auction through the chat site. So it'll be like a set of knuckleheads go up. And of course there'll be a reserve price.
Chris, you cannot bid.
It'll be open bidding until they go. A lot of other stuff, you know, like you'd see at the swap
Rob
meet, man.
Nussbaum, great idea.
Vendors with t-shirts and stuff. They got 50 t-shirts of this style for $5. They go until they're gone. So if you guys are interested in that, hit us up at Cycle Source Magazine. You can get the email off the website. We're going to be putting an application process to come in there. So, you know, making the best of a bad situation. What do they say? Chicken salad from chicken shit?
There we go.
So, in all transparency, Rob Nussbaum from Retro Cycle out of New Jersey gave us that idea and told us we could run with it.
Yes.
So, and then back up a little
Thanks,
bit.
Rob.
Yeah. Thanks, Rob. Mike Draco got the answer right. 1997 was the first issue of Cycle Source. And damn it, Christopher, you are old.
Yeah.
No, he's not. He's not old at all.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you hear? Did you just hear Evan? Evan said I was 7.
You suck, Evan.
Wow. Not sure how Evan knows. Don't want to know.
Evan, that's gonna
Wait.
He's big, how you say, dick.
Evan, that's going to cost you 3 bottles of Speakeasy Rye.
We need some of that.
Just so you know.
I know, I'm gonna say.
Hey, has Evan giving away free bottles?
Right?
We need that. That could be sitting here next week.
Oh, nice. George Merced making smoke chrome premium cigars.
Wow.
Hey, you guys are out. Are you
wait.
from near Pittsburgh, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's where the BMW that I recently built is out.
Oh, so can we go shoot it?
Yeah, I'll hook you guys up with that. 'Cause I literally just
Awesome. Yeah, I need something to do.
Jake, what's your dog's name?
Can we shoot it?
I didn't ask you. I asked Jake.
You Yankees are terrible. Us Southerners know. That's the question they ask. Southerners, can we shoot at it?
I think when they all start talking, nobody can hear us anymore.
I like what Evan said tonight, though. That's the most truest thing as far as less is more, as far as building bikes are concerned. Except in porn, that would not apply.
That would not apply in porn. You know, Rich is another interesting character too. That now, Rich, you used to drink.
No, I never did.
You never drank. Okay, you don't drink now. Your whole life you didn't drink.
My whole life I was a non-drinker, no drugs, no drinking. My whole life.
Good for you.
Good for you. Good for you.
Good for you.
Good for you.
Yeah, you don't know what you're missing.
You don't know what you're missing.
No, I actually get to sit back always, and I always got to go to parties, and I got to watch everybody, just observe everybody else. It was quite entertaining.
So, and that's one thing I have to
Good
say.
Pat looks when you're 10 in.
If you know Rich Petoniak does not need any substances.
And now everybody's quitting drinking. Does
He
anybody
does
else
not
notice
need
that? Everybody's quitting. It's like, well, I'm 90 days in. Oh, I'm 5 years sober.
So
now I just put on there, I'm still drinking. That's it.
I save a lot of money that way, so I can buy more shovel heads.
Oh, there you go. There you go. But yeah, again, if you've actually met Rich Petoniak, and God love you, Rich, you are such a sweet soul. You do not need any substances in your life.
You would think Rich is drunk most of the time, though. But
I think that might be what Heather was getting at.
Right?
You're a Pollock, so you're just going to act that way anyway. Right?
Oh my God.
I can say that because my aunt's a Pollock. She married into the family, but she's still a Pollock.
Can you mute Pat? Can you just mute him?
It's my cousin Petri. You know, my mother.
Bring
is,
it. Bring it.
She very much thinks about the sex. You know, she charges me, of course, but you know, it's still I get not like my sister. My sister half price, but not as good as mine.
What the hell?
I know. We can do that because we don't have a sponsor yet, right?
Right. Yes.
There you go. So Lucas Oil, when you pick me up, I'll be
IVs for life. Yes,
Pat
bug
Jansen.
killer.
Dennis Frame, kudos to you. 19 years, 18 years sober.
Hey,
All right,
and
Dennis.
just in case I don't get to see anybody next week or ever again.
Probably Rob. He probably is.
Is Pat drunk?
Yeah, I can tell you where you're not going to see me. You're not going to be seeing one of those lame ass IMS shows. I can tell you that. You're not
Hey,
gonna
now.
Patrick Jansen.
So there's
Come
been
on.
Hey,
What time I do get to see you?
Oh, Jesus, fuck. Let's do something else. Why don't we go to a morgue?
Let's go to Benny's party.
Let's go to Benny's party.
Let's all go to Benny's party.
Yes, Benny's party.
Hey, Benny, do you have Wi-Fi at your place?
George, his son. Man,
It's
I
at
can't believe your
Dan's.
son's 19 years old
the party's
already.
at
Boy,
Dan's.
time's gone fast when you're
4 days
first met
sober.
George and we were going to the show.
Yay,
in,
Tom!
New York all the
Woo!
time at the Catskills there. Man, your son was just a little kid riding around on the mini bike, little dirt bikes all over. Now he's 19. Time goes
Yeah,
fast.
remember he was always spanking the asses of everybody in the motorcycle rodeo. He was beating them all at the fucking.
Glad we can entertain you, Robin.
That's because all the guys are drunk and he was the one ripping around
The
everywhere.
fucking Ducati models to sit on his bike and do the hot dog fucking suck or whatever the fuck it's called.
It's a hot dog bite. I don't know.
It's a weenie bite.
Sit on the back of his dirt bike.
Wait, now the hot dog suck or whatever it's called.
Chris,
Wow.
if we don't do the hot dog suck in Sturgis this year,
We have to do
Hey,
the hot dogs.
I'm gonna tell you right now.
hot dog suck.
I'm gonna tell you right now. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with alternative lifestyle, but this ain't that fucking magazine. And that's just it. That's a different magazine. It ain't this one.
So wait a minute. Seriously, I have a question for Benny. Benny.
Hey, Benny.
Are we done? Are we
Wait.
done or do we?
Wait a minute.
Heather has a question for Benny.
Gotta go to bed. Yeah,
I have a
it's past
question
my
for Benny.
bedtime, too. I go to
Nice
bed
to
at
see
9
you,
o'clock.
everybody.
It's great to see you guys, man. Hey, come back next week, though, guys.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Hey,
and
please.
chime in so we can still be talking.
Who's
All
going to Laconia?
Not me.
You know, now
Not
that
me.
it moved, I'm
Where's those
thinking I
crickets,
might
Chris?
ride Up there, honestly.
Crickets.
I think-
Crickets.
I
We need crickets, Chris.
Crickets.
I was gonna go this year.
Thank you.
I just wanted to do a ride by myself, and I wanted to go to Ocean City, and then I wanted to go, and so but now I might try to make all that happen. I might try to do Laconia and Ocean City. I might need a place to crash for a little while between them. So
You can crash at my place.
all right, cool. Can I drink there? Is it gonna be
Yeah.
all right, Rich? Can I get drunk?
Yeah.
All right.
You-
I'm your entertainment.
You're entertainment for
Awesome.
everybody, Pat.
That's awesome.
Yes. Play it, Chris.
Play it, Chris.
Play it,
Play
Chris.
it. Play it, Chris.
Nope.
Come on, please.
Come on, please.
Please, you got to close the show.
Okay, look. This is
One of the,
This is it.
This is it.
benefits of the pandemic is the liquor authority loosened up a bunch of their rules and regulations. So, like, when you get takeout, you could bring home liquor with you, which you normally couldn't do. So one thing that's really cool for New York residents, if you want a bottle of the Speakeasy Motors American Rye, you can
What was that
just hit
again?
us up on Facebook. You could buy a bottle of our liquor and we can ship it to you. If
It's
you're a New York
Speakeasy American Rye, and if you're a New York resident, they can ship it to you.
Yeah, so that's one of the cool things that the pandemic had some of its business, to promote small businesses. They loosened up on a bunch of the liquor regulations.
Well, here's another thing you might not know, Evan. If you don't fill out that part of the shipping container, you can send that priority mail just like any other damn thing that you send. You just don't click, is there any liquor in this box?
So we can have that on Monday, right?
Government.
All right.
Okay.
I'd ship it as snow globes.
Right?
Right.
Just tell them it's a snow globe.
No,
globe.
All right. Are we done?
I think
have
we're
always
gonna
done
wrap
snow
this.
globes, and
We're gonna
even
roll
more
this train into the
internationally in
station,
case
right?
anybody's
Yeah,
curious.
because it's
So.
turning
I
into a
think
train.
they say, don't they
Not when you
say
bring gallons.
The U.S.
Okay.
Postal Service is the biggest drug dealer in the country.
Hell yes, they are. Charlie, I'm sending you some Iowa moonshine because I know you like it from
Do
West
it.
Virginia. I know you got to be missing it. I'm gonna send you some. I just, I'll send all of you some.
We'll be
just made
in a
some.
snow globe.
Some Pat. I need some moonshine.
I'm gonna
here.
send
We
all
live
of you
in New
some. So,
York. There's no
hey, will you
moonshine. I gotta
guys,
pay to heaven for whiskey.
message me.
I'll trade you
Message
for
me
the
your
finest-
addresses and I'll get everybody on here. Jake, you too. Even though you're doing fucking yoga or something. We gotta go. It's time to go.
It's time to
It's
go.
time to
Thank
roll
you for
this
being
train into
here.
the station.
Michael Source Magazine. We'll see you next.
Thank you,
Thursday.
everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks for tuning in.
Show.
Yeah, Benny says thanks too.
Bye, Benny.
on.
Bye, Benny. Thank you, Jake.
Good night, everybody.
Thank you.
Where's the Shovelhead song?
Hang on, you guys can wrap it up.